Hey guys, I apologize. My name is Keith Strickland, and I am the CEO of Making the Transition. Y'all know me. Making the Transition is an organization I started to help give our Black community a voice. And my background is I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I was in the streets for a long time here in Atlanta, and I made a lot of mistakes while I was here. I sold drugs in the streets. I caused a lot of harm while I was, lost. Once I finally found myself, I wanted to not just change my life, but created an environment and a foundation for other people to be able to change their life as well. So I started working with the community. I started working with government and just doing everything I could to bring opportunities back to our community. So I want to first and foremost thank you for checking in and just spending time watching us, spending time and just contributing to our show and to our community, because this doesn't work unless we work together. So I want to introduce y'all to an amazing man tonight. His name is Reginald Crossley. Reginald Crossley is the youth commissioner for Fulton County, but he does so much more than just that. So Reggie, I want to go ahead and give you a second to let you tell everybody who you are, what's your background. And also we got two other young men who are going to speak tonight, but I'm gonna hold off for a second because their story is so powerful and impactful that when we bring them in, I want them to really be able to let you guys know who they are and what they want the community to walk away with from talking to them, hearing from them, and interacting with them tonight. But Reggie, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. Good evening. Again, my name is Reginald Crossley. I represent Fulton County and the Division of Youth and Community Services. And for the past 20 years, I've dedicated my career to youth services, community empowerment, specifically working with young men. I have done everything from being a teacher in Atlanta Public Schools to overseeing 24 of the Metro Atlanta Boys and Girls Clubs, developing curriculum and programming. I've also worked for the state as a gang prevention specialist and a drug prevention specialist as well. I currently work for Fulton County, overseeing programming and doing all we can to offer solutions to youth issues.
Reggie, I just want to say first and foremost, brother, thank you for your lifetime of service, your lifetime of it. A lot of people don't understand you came up with your own situation and you needed a you before you started doing this. A lot of people don't understand, man. We serve because we understand the gap, and we understand that if nobody goes in and fills that gap that looks like us, and we're going to keep on having services that don't reflect what we need, and we're going to have people that don't understand our everyday lives. So how can they possibly give us what we need? So I just want to say thank you. And to be able to have somebody who was an educator, worked in all these different spaces, to be able to lead inside of government, that's beautiful and that's powerful, because it means you know what to fight for. You know what your people need. You know how to speak the language on both sides. And you were the child on the other side at one point. You know what I'm saying? If you don't mind me asking, how did you make that transition? How did you go from being in the school to now being somebody that open doors and bring resources to schools?
Honestly, it was just people who saw the potential in me early on. I definitely have to give credit to my mentors, even when I didn't believe in myself. They pushed me and they saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. So I always knew I wanted to work with young people. I originally started when I went to college, I wanted to be a pediatrician. But, to be 1000% with you guys, I'm not the smartest guy. To be a bio major, pre-med major in college, my first semester, I started that and I jumped right out of it. I went to school for public relations, had a lot of teachers and mentors who were pulling me in a lot of different directions. I actually started off working for BT. And I worked for BT for about 8 years. I did a lot of work in the entertainment space. And it was always my mission and goal to try to connect entertainment and education. I always knew that our young people are moved by what goes on in our entertainment industry. So always using entertainment in my experience and my relationships to really hook our young people. So that's how I started connecting the dots, bringing celebrities into the school system, especially when I worked with the Boys and Girls Club. We would do the whole Boys and Girls Club of Metro Atlanta, that whole circuit, working with a lot of different artists, who also had a passion to help somehow. And, a lot of them came from, the same struggles that these young people we try to empower are currently in. So, we're able to speak from experience, speak from firsthand. We're not talking about what we heard, what someone told us. We talking about what we know, what we've been through, what we lived through. And also growing up, my parents have also encouraged me to get into, I guess, public service. My mom has a group home, and for maybe over 30 years it had a group home. So our house was like an emergency shelter. So we would always get kids last minute, 2, 3 in the morning, emergency situation, so we always have had to meet people where they are. And, despite what their background is, you come into our house, new chapter, new beginning, we try our best to get them on the right path. We're all knuckleheads. I grew up, in the streets. I have a lot of family and friends who I grew up with who are either dead or in jail or still on the run to this day.
Reggie, one thing I want to say real quick, just because I want to bring that back. Like you just said, you got friends who you came up with, dead or in jail. You know what I'm saying? They took a slightly different path, slightly different, right? And that one little difference that they made, that one little different decision they made, that one party they went to, that one interaction that they had changed their whole trajectory versus yours. You get what I'm saying? So what would you say to somebody right now who got 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Like I remember me, when I was out here selling crack, man, it was so many times I thought about stopping. You know what I'm saying? So many times that like I might go to church on Sunday and then be right back gambling Sunday afternoon, then be back in the trap Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you going through these places in your life where you want to make a change, you got to make that change. You got to make that change. So what would you say to somebody? Because I'm sure you done had your situation as well. If you didn't make that one decision, you could see yourself in a whole different space right now.
I had a lot of family members who, like I said, been there, done it. I had a cousin of mine who got a RICO charge and did 18 years and was able to come home. And he gave me some very powerful advice. He's like, friends are like elevators. Some will take you up, some will take you down, and some will get you stuck. And, no matter how positive you are, if you're around negative people, that negative energy is going to rub off. That's science. That's law of physics. The negative energy will pull from that positive energy. So, you can't say you want to change or, you're trying to get on the right path, but you're still hanging with the wrong people.
And
at the same time,
something that a lot of people wouldn't know with me and you. You've been in government way longer than me. You've been polished longer than I have. When I came on this side of the fence, you had to give me some pointers. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to introduce me to some people to show me like what was possible, take me into some different spaces and kind of open my eyes up to stuff. And like you just said, if I had not had a you and a couple of other people, who knows, it might not be making a transition right now. You feel me? Because you got to have those people who can take your hand and open doors and then be able to walk you through the door. Because it ain't just enough to be able to go through the door. Somebody got to show you like how do you got to move and how you got to look and how you got to rock on this side of the door to be able to stay on this side of the door. So you're completely right. And I just want to say thank you to that, because my fault to cut you off, but if you didn't know me like that when you first start opening doors for me and having certain conversations with me. So I just want to say, like, for Black men out here, we got to be able to see the potential in our brothers, not feel threatened by that potential, not feel like somebody moving into our space and our lane. Me and Reggie do some of the same things, but ain't never been a competition, never. It's always been, I want another brother beside me. Even if one of us go up faster and the other one catch up, we can pull each other up. But if it's just one you, who gonna pull you up if you slip?
Exactly. And to your point, brother, real recognize real, regardless. And, if you are genuine about what you're trying to do, if you genuinely trying to leave that lane or change your life, the people that you may go to for that counsel or, your advisors, your teachers, or people like yourself, Keith, who, you've been there, done it, and you can pull a brother and you can reach back and tell them like, oh, look, this is the direction you need to go. If you're trying to really change your life, first you got to stop living that lifestyle. You got to stop hanging with those types of people. So first off, you got to listen and digest and apply the information that these people leave with you. Because it's one thing when, you can have mentors, but if you're not allowing that information to resonate, if you're not really applying that knowledge that they give you, you have people who watch these help videos and these motivational videos and they, but if you're not applying that information, it means nothing. So, you could talk a good game. You could say you about change. You say you want to live a different lifestyle, but if you're still in that same environment, it's never gonna happen, realistically.
You know what? With that being said, Reggie, we got two brothers on here who are hurting right now. And like you just said, we as older black men, we got to open up the doors and be there for our younger black brothers. We got two young men who lost their brother over act of violence by another young black man, right? And they hurting right now. They hurting. They got to come home without their brother there. They done lost somebody they love over something senseless that could have been avoided. So I want us to open up the door for them. No, man, we love y'all. We got y'all back. Y'all ain't going through this alone. I didn't know your brother, but I know you. So you got another brother in me now. You got another brother in Reginald. Because that's what we got to do. We say Black Lives Matter, but we got to make every black life matter. We got to make ours matter. We got to make theirs matter. And we got to come together and let them know, I don't know what exactly you feeling. I don't know exactly what you're going through. But to the best of my ability, I'm going to be that bridge that's going to refuse to let you fall. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. But I want to introduce them. But before we do, Ashley, can you play the preview of the news clip? We just want to give a little background on the situation, what happened, and let y'all see what they've been through.
A family begging for justice after a man is killed leaving a Stone Mountain Walmart. 22-year-old Jeremiah Smith was gunned down right in front of his girlfriend, and the killer is still on the run. The family spoke with our Hope Forward, that was the Stonecrest Walmart. Our Hope Forward has the story about their pain and their search for closure.
Jeremiah was a student, the oldest of 8, and a loving boyfriend. His family wants answers because his killer is still on the run.
My roommate is dead for defending his girlfriend because a man couldn't take no for an answer.
It was 7 p.m. on Sunday, April 19th, when Jeremiah Smith and his girlfriend walked out of a Stonecrest Walmart, headed to C.J. Johnson's car. Jeremiah wouldn't make it.
As I pulled up, Jeremiah was being shot.
Jeremiah was shot in the head and died at the hospital. His girlfriend says they were followed out of the store by a man who she refused to give her number to.
It was just evil.
DeKalb police say these two men are responsible. The department later released this video saying it shows one of the men ringing the doorbell of a nearby home, out of breath and checking his phone. Still, 6 months later, no arrests.
I miss my baby so much. There's nothing in this world that I want more than justice.
Jeremiah's mom, Cominette Smith, says besides losing her oldest son, one of the hardest parts is calling police for updates, only to be told there's nothing new to report.
In the back of my mind, I just want something that I can just grab a hold to and be hopeful for.
His siblings called their older brother their #1 inspiration.
My brother was there for me anytime I needed him. We'll sit on the phone for hours and we'll talk. And he'll just uplift me in the most way he can. He was always the one that will motivate me. Now that he's gone, I don't have that person.
Family friend Keith Strickland.
And that's what people don't see when they pull a trigger. You're not just shooting one person. You're shooting a whole family.
The family hopes people will take a look at these pictures and the men will turn themselves in. Jeremiah's girlfriend says she would be less fearful knowing these men were behind bars.
Crime Stoppers is offering a $2,000 reward for information leading to an arrest.
All right.
And first and foremost, guys, we said this before, but I just want to say it one more time. My condolences, man. Like, y'all shouldn't have to go through what y'all going through right now. And it really ain't no words, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to let you know I love y'all and I'm here, as best as I can be. But thank y'all for coming on and speaking tonight. Thank y'all for just having that courage and being able to share with the world your emotions, because we need to let people see that when you pull a trigger, it lasts a lot longer than that one day. You know what I'm saying? But I want to let y'all introduce yourselves and let people know who you are, and we can have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have no questions. It ain't scripted. I just want y'all to be able to talk about what y'all feel and let the world know what y'all want them to know.
All right, so hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Ezekial Walthall. I'm 20, and it's been kind of rough going through these days, knowing that my brother's not here with me no more. I've been trying, stay uplifted. I pray every day, every night. I still talk to myself as I'm like if I'm talking to my brother. And it's still traumatizing. I still cry about it. It's just something that you can't get off your mind. And I try my best to get through the day, but every day it's that thought in the back of my mind, like, man, I wish my brother was here. I wish he could see me now. I wish he could see what I'm doing now. And even with my daughter, I got a daughter. She's 2 now. He's been like there for her, like he was her father, best uncle you could ever possibly imagine. And it's like heartbreaking because now it's like, what I'm gonna tell her? What should I tell her? Can I even come up with the answer to tell her like what happened to her uncle? And he loved her so much, and it's crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but we've had conversations. You know what I'm saying? So I know how much you're going through and how you feeling. And the more we talk, the more I can feel it. So I'm really sorry about that you're going through this. And one blessing of it is you know your brother here with you. He just might not be here in the physical, but you know you can't take away love. Love is more powerful than any person. A person don't have the power to give love, not take it away. God create love. You know what I'm saying? So your brother's still with you. I ain't mean to cut you off. I just want to let you know, like, I know what you're feeling. I lost a child. You know what I'm saying? And that weight is so heavy. But your brother is still here with you. He proud of you. He's seeing everything you're doing. He's seeing you standing up for him right now. He's seeing you take your pain and giving that pain purpose so that other people can think twice before they do something they can't undo. That takes bravery. Like your brother's really proud of you right now.
All right.
Michael, you got something you want to add, Michael?
All right, I just want to let y'all know that I thank y'all very much for having us on this show. And I just want to say that this story needs to be heard because I'm very tired of going to work and having sad work days. I get very dry-minded while I'm at work. I work at McDonald's, so it's like, I mean, yeah, it's fast food, but when I think about him, it makes me work slow, sad, and get emotional. And I'm very tired of thinking about it. And I just want this story to be heard because Black on Black crime shouldn't be a thing at all. A lot of people think it's not real, but it's really real, especially when you have a Black man behind the gun shooting another Black person. It makes us think like we are not really a Black community because we're killing ourselves. We're not working together. We're supposed to all be working together as a Black community. And I just think that Black on Black crime should really stop and we should work together. It has to.
Well, one thing I can say is we got to be that change and we're doing that now. You know what I'm saying? Like for you guys to be able to open up and push through that pain and that emotion so that y'all can talk about this and let other people see like, hey man, this is real, that we can't just go out here and march and hold up signs and then we go back to our neighborhood and don't give a fuck about each other. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like if we gonna care when them cameras are on us and we gotta care when the cameras go off, we gotta care when there ain't nobody but us there. Like it gotta be real. It can't just be for show. We can't just be upset when folks disrespecting our community. We gotta care when we disrespecting our community. We gotta care when we hurting each other. But we are that change. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why we gotta do this stuff. Because if we change the way the children think today, then those children won't grow up and be somebody who pick up a gun tomorrow. Like we are the only chance that our community has for it to get better. We gotta fight. And we gotta let people see every Black man ain't a thug. Every Black man ain't making poor decisions. Every time somebody get hurt, it ain't their fault. Y'all brother did absolutely nothing wrong. He was a college student. He was a good person to everybody who life he touched. But because somebody else couldn't deal with their pride of having a young lady turn them down and they couldn't deal with their anger, y'all family got to pay for that. Your brother had to pay for that. And that's what we got to change. We got to have more people talking to our young men and our young women. Because, man, truth be told, man, how you going to care about other people when you feel like ain't nobody never cared about you? You get what I'm saying? How you going to learn how to deal with anger issues if ain't nobody never talked to you? I was in a restaurant just now ordering food. The mother gets mad at her kids, slammed the door on her kids, telling her, get your ass in the store. Like, we can't do this. We can't breed people who are going to have anger issues, then not think they're going to be adults with them with even worse issues. You get what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like the confrontation that the young man had with your brother, they could have walked off and just went separate ways from that. But you know what, guys? I want y'all to really be able to let everybody know how y'all feel about what happened that day. Not just the shooting, the police being there and not giving him the care that he should have gotten. The fact that they got security footage and they got pictures and there's no ongoing investigation. Nobody's calling y'all. Nobody's keeping y'all updated. Like, it's not just the person that pulled the trigger that disrespected y'all. It's constant disrespect.
Right. And I do feel like we should like, I haven't seen a video yet. They haven't showed us surveillance. They just showed us pictures. And the video that they had of the Ring camera, that's all I've been seeing. And in the back of my head, it's like, is that all you have to show for, you know what I'm saying, for my brother's death? Because I'm shocked that it even happened on Walmart property and he got away.
Yeah. The fact that it's security there. It's a police officer in the parking lot.
Right.
Like, how do you let somebody walk off after a shooting, go to another house, try to ring the doorbell, try to get help? You got the pictures, you got the footage. Where is the investigation? So you telling me that they can send police cars and a National Guard to go protect a building with clothes inside of it, but a black man can get killed and y'all can't go and do an investigation with footage and with pictures? Like, how is it? We gotta fight to let them know every person matters, every last person. If this was a white person and this happened, would this be the same effort that the police would take? And I'm not trying to throw our police under the bus. I'm just saying that if you want the community to believe in you, you got to show us something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a war on crime and it was a war on drugs when you were locking us up. Can we not have that same war when you're trying to protect our communities? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, y'all still gotta go up and down these same streets with somebody who's walking free that did this. Reggie, we've been dealing with this a lot, man. You deal with it just like I do, man. For the kids who we work with, for the young people we work with, for the families we work with, they suffer a lot of losses, man. Our community's been suffering for far too long from this violence. What do you think that we need to do from people from our vantage point so that we can shed more light on what's going on in our community? Because you got more of a risk of being killed as a black male in your neighborhood than you do as a soldier when you go off to war. Like, come on, man. How we supposed to feel like we are part of America or that we matter to America when y'all can't even keep us safe in America?
I definitely think it starts with self-love, and not only self-love, but loving life. And the people who don't love themselves and don't love life are those who don't see value in other people's lives. And I think until we start to teach those types of life skills and teach young people how to cope with anger management courses, going into these schools as early as we can to start to have these sorts of conversations. And when I say love life, no one has a perfect life. Even the celebrities you may think have a perfect life, but you finding the positivity in a negative situation is part of, or an example of, loving life. Despite, not having maybe the money or resources that you need, you can still find ways to love life and love yourself. And I'll go back to, me growing up. I had a lot of anger growing up as well. I grew up, in a poor household. About 18 of us in a 2-bedroom house, and my bedroom was a living room. And my house was also like the hangout house, a community house, a house that everyone will come through for help. And, you know, it would be times growing up, I would be so angry, like my mom would be giving away food to other people who came for help. You know, we understand we're always trying to do the best to help other people. At the same time, the kids who live in this house met needs not met. You know, so I had a lot of anger, and I remember having anger over this one kid who was in my neighborhood, and it was simple stuff over like food or something. He came to the house and he asked my mom for whatever, and she gave him like the last, I think it was like a Twinkie or something like that. And I was so angry about that. So fast forward the story, we were playing ball with the kid. And because of that little grudge I had, I elbowed the kid and I slit his lip, you know, and just me being angry for whatever reason. And I use that as an example, but the kid to this day, maybe years later, I still see that little slit on his lip. And it wasn't until, you know, like I said, like this is like just like 30 years ago. And then I ran into the kid and I saw that same slit on his lip. He probably forgot about it. But the moment I saw him, I wanted to look at his lip to see if it was still there, and it was there. And it hurt me, bro.
Because you saw how your issue became his issue.
How
like,
simple of an issue it was, and how permanent of a situation it became. And I say situation, it was just a scar. You know, as young boys, we play, you know, whatever. But, you know, I say all of that to say, like, the most simple decision you make could be a domino effect.
It impact their whole
And, you know, and, you know, that's what people need to understand, that actions hold so much weight. Your words hold so much weight. You know, and I always preach, and not necessarily preach, I'm not a preacher, but I always try to communicate when I'm talking to young people, like, yo, you gotta protect your ear and your eye gates. You know, because you start to listen to this music and playing these Grand Theft Auto video games and all this stuff, you think it's real life. So, you know, you killing people all day in these video games, and then now you got your own personal gun. And you know, things become so casual, and you become desensitized to violence and death and guns and blood and this, that, and the third. And it's like, I think it all starts with, like I said, self-love, life skills, us educating our young people early on, us protecting the type of content and stuff that we consume, us loving one another, us not seeing each other as competition, but seeing each other as someone who's gonna help me get closer to the path. Would you rather go into the jungle by yourself, or you rather go with 10 of your homeboys? Try to make it through that jungle. And we have this mentality like, you know, if you wanna go fast, go alone. But if you wanna go far, you gotta go together. And, you know, that's the mentality that we don't have. And we all everything gotta be fast. Like, you know, I'm just today, tomorrow, next week, but we're not looking 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the line. And I'm saying homeboys you have beef with, or, you know, you fought with, it might be the dude on the other side of that interview table when you go get a job, you know, or it might be the dude, you know.
You know what, Reggie, I hear everything you're saying, brother, but something I really want to think about, a lot of our kids, man, they don't have a vision for their life. They don't have a dream for their life. They don't see themselves even getting to an interview table because they ain't seen themselves getting a job. You know what I mean? We say we gotta have
an example, but
this is what I'm saying though. Look, hear me out, Reggie. Hear me out. What I'm saying is, when you say self-love, right? For a black man in this society, it's hard for a black man to love himself in a world that's doing everything he can to try to take away our value and take away a reason for us to love ourselves, right? Like when we look at how society looks at us, how society talks about us, how society treats us, when we look at all the different imagery created about us, it's really hard for us to look in the mirror a lot of times and see something to love. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. We can't continue to use that as an excuse.
Nah, brother, I can't. So
hear me out. And this is where we got to have a healthy debate, because this has always been the case. Civil rights, when Dr. King was a teen, the same stuff that they were fighting for 50 years ago, we're still fighting for today. So I don't think, you know, black people have always been seen in these lenses of whatever the case may be. But
yeah, Reggie, but at that time though,
we can't let that hold us back though.
At that time though, you had black families, you had segregated At that time, you had black families, you had segregated communities, you had places where black people had to live in communities around each other. So black people they had to see other black people. Like we had to see the black doctor in the neighborhood. We had to see black housewife. We had to see the black mother who is raising the family, the black grandparent. It was a structure, right? So a lot of times now we don't get the same visibility. And also you got social media where you got people who are living a fictitious lifestyle, but they're making it seem like this is their real life. It's a lot more pressure on our kids to see things every day.
I 1000% agree, but that's the reality we live in, and we can't change those things. So we can't put our brain power and energy into things that we can't change. We got to stop focusing on a problem as black people and focus on a solution. We all know the problems. We all know black people are treated unequally. We know black people get less opportunities. We know black people got more hurdles and more barriers. But what are we doing as a solution? How are we helping the next brother? So, okay, I've been there, done it. I went through some hurdles. Why can't I go tell that young brother over there, yo, you can't, you gotta take a left, and you gotta take a right, then you gotta jump over this hurdle. No, don't let the brother go down there down the street by himself blind and not give him the game. You understand what I'm saying? So I think a lot of it is us people who've been there, done it, reaching back. People.
I definitely agree with that 100%.
Like you've been there, done it, turning your mess into a message. Just because you did time, just because you know, whatever the case may be, that means nothing these days. I'm gonna use a good example. The brother Jay Morrison. We touched on him briefly. Brother has a pretty interesting story. He'd been there, done it, did some time, whatever the case may be. The moment he came home, he was so determined to win. This kid turned around and raised millions of dollars to the first black real estate crowd fund. His background, his felons, all the stuff he did had nothing to do with his success. We can't let our past determine our future, brother. I refuse to allow this to be, if we spend the brain power and the energy talking about, all these things that are against us, we're never gonna win, brother.
Okay, but we still got people walking down the streets every single day that their life is in danger every single day. So yeah, we have to go back as black men who have made it. We got to give people the knowledge of how we made it. We got to be able to sit down and have the conversations, but we also got to deal with the reality that you got people like this young man who just had his life taken walking out of a Walmart. So we got to do things in our community to make our community safer so they can make it to the other side of the table. You talking about a young man who was in college. You talking about a young man who did everything right and still had his life taken. You talking about a family that's hurting right now. So my point is we definitely have to go back and we got to do the things like what we're doing. We need more black men who have made it to come in there with us. But we're talking from two different sides of a conversation. That's what we need to do on this side. They also need to be protected on this side. They also need a safe passage to make it to where we can get to them at. I've had 6 young men in the last 90 days in our program who have been murdered. 6 young men in 90 days who we're reaching out to. We got them in the program. We're working with them. They still get killed. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you, but we got to deal with the reality that they're facing. And then we got to deal with the work we need to do on our end. Those are two things.
Reality. And until we can accept what the reality is, and then we use that as fuel or as motivation. And you gentlemen, you need to use a situation as motivation to do better, to school the other brothers behind you, who are going through similar situations, to share your story, because to share how it's impacted your life and your family. That's the same as you schooling and dropping the game on the next person and the next brother and everyone, each one teach one. At the end of the day, it's gonna happen again. Let's be honest, and this is an ongoing issue. But until we can learn from the next person's mistakes, until we can start to, develop these roadmaps with each other and not against each other, I feel like we're talking in circles in a sense. But at the end of the day, the same energy we put into the problem and us as black people emphasizing on what the problem is in our current society, we need to put that same energy into the solutions we want to see.
Okay, so the city of Atlanta and the city of DC both have the highest earning income for black people across the United States. The city of Atlanta and the city of DC both have the lowest upward mobility for black males born into poverty. So just because a black male makes millions of dollars in these cities, it does not trickle down to the black community. It does not mean a thing at all. A lot of these people who make a lot of money are actually taking that money out of the community and they're not putting a penny back into it. So my point is they didn't make a mistake. They didn't have a problem. Their brother did nothing wrong. We need to address the lack. We need to address the fact that how many young men and young women do you have in your program? And there's not as many jobs as there is them. You can't tell somebody to stop going out here and doing what they're doing when we have no way for them to eat. If people can't eat, they're going to do things. Point blank, period. So until we generate opportunities for our young people, you can't tell them what they should not be doing. So we can't say, stop using issues as an excuse, and I'm not knocking you for that. We can't say these things if we're not generating the opportunity. I sold my first drug because I was hungry. You can't tell a person what not to do when you're not telling them, let me show you what to do. Our job first, their job second. We open the door, we bring them through it. But we can't complain about what they got going on their side. Say one of these young men fear for their life. Hey, let me ask y'all something. How do y'all feel right now?
Young men, please. Yes.
How do y'all feel right now? With what you're going through right here, right now, have y'all been embraced by your community? Do y'all feel like anybody has felt y'all pain? Is anybody show concern for what you feel right now?
Not really. Not necessarily.
And this is the thing. Y'all are great young men. We got a relationship. A lot of folks want to be as strong as y'all are to be able to still be positive going through this situation. We sit back, we laugh. Y'all let me celebrate with y'all family, introduce me to beautiful babies. Y'all are still in a positive space when a lot of people would have got a lot darker from this. And that dark person will go out and hurt somebody else. And it will be another cycle of another family and another family and another family. But I just thank God that y'all are strong. I thank God that y'all refuse to let your brother's beautiful legacy be tainted by anything negative. I thank God for y'all. And that's what I'm trying to say. We got to lift them up. We
Absolutely.
see you young men right here hurting. But we got to say, not by yourself.
Mm-hmm. So I want to make a point, and I think that kind of touches on the points that we made earlier, that you guys are in a position now to take your story to many places to help empower other young brothers who are possibly going through what you guys are going through at the same time. You know, I think
Reggie, I agree with you. Me and them, we've had those conversations, but they need to be loved on right now.
Absolutely.
Like you talking about two young men who are struggling sleeping, two young men who have issues when they walk out their house. We need to love on them as a community, not just them. We need to love on them in your community, whatever city you in while you're watching this. We need to see the people in our families and in our communities and just around us who have gone through these tragedies. They matter. It's not just a news story. It's not just another person. They matter. And I'm sorry, Reggie, Ezekiel has a song that he made for his brother. Ashley, Ezekiel, do you mind if we play the song and then you could talk to us about why you made this song, what it felt for you, what you're expressing in the song? Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it. You go ahead.
Ashley, can you cue the song? Can you play that song for us? Okay, while she getting it ready, do you want to tell us anything about the song? Give us a little background on why you made this, what emotions you were getting through by making this?
Okay, so I made this song probably like a day ago. Probably like day before yesterday. Basically, I probably have like at least 6 songs dedicated to my brother. But it was like I get these emotions and I'd be like, man, I make music, so let me just try something. Let me try something, make something different. So as I was recording, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I got emotional and I cried. I came in, gave my mama a hug, wiped my tears off, went back to record, probably cried 2-3 more times. I came back in the house. It's like it's hard to like kind of put, because you wouldn't think that in a million years I'd be making a song about my brother's death. So that part kind of gets me every time because I miss him so much. And it's like just me putting the words into a song and then it coming out to where I like it. It's like, it's hard. It's real hard. So I try to like do what I can. Sometimes I don't even get to finish the song. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even get to finish the song because it's too emotional for me. And it's like really something just like special to me. So I was like, end it right there.
See, I just want to tell you, brother, I'm proud of you because you're working through your own pain, your own hurt in a positive way. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
yes.
you being a man and you being positive about this, and you creating something that everybody else can draw from, so that we can learn and we can grow. Ashley, do you mind playing a song for us? All right. And you know, with all great things, it take a little while. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in some work to be able to experience the great stuff. So we appreciate Ashley for working on it. I know she's going to get it for us. Here we go.
What was the thing about it? 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 I miss your body, I miss your body, I miss your body. I miss your body, I miss your body, I miss your body. What did you think about it? I should know what was it about. I get it back to suicide in my mind, like what's
Are we having technical difficulties, Ashley? Hey, Ezekiel.
Yes, I'm here.
I think we having a little difficulties with our connection. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the song, like what you're expressing in the song, what you want people to take away from it?
Okay, so basically in the song, I'm expressing like how much I miss him, like, cause I think about him a lot every day. So it's like, okay, if I can't get him off my mind and I listen to music 24/7, let me go ahead and like try to, you know what I'm saying, put something behind him, you know what I'm saying, my pain.
Like you bridging it. Yeah, you bridging
right.
it.
Okay, so I put something behind my pain, and then I'll like, because he made music. He was an author or whatever. He made music, produced music, wrote music for people and everything. So it's like, for me, I'm gonna like keep it going for him. You know what I'm saying? Because me and him, actually, we never really got to make a song together. Like me and him, we've been talking about it. We were sitting on the phone. I was talking about it, and like, we never really actually had like got to make a song together, because I'm always either on the other side of town or he's on the other side of town. And you know what I'm saying, I got a daughter to look after. I work, so it's like a lot of back and forth movement going on. So I try to like keep his purpose going, and like, because I know he wanted to do music for a fact.
Hey, something I wanted to bring up too that really hit me when y'all were telling me about your brother is how you were saying that, and all of y'all got a pretty big family. How many of y'all is in all?
Like eight of us.
And then you have a daughter, your sister has a daughter, and there was one more, there was two, in all there was two young ladies, the young man, and then your daughter. So y'all have 4 children also, right?
No, my sister, she has a boy. She got a nephew. I got a nephew, and I got a little girl. So it's really like my mom got 2 grandbabies.
Okay. Well, when you guys were talking to me about how your brother was that positive person for the entire family, how he would text everybody motivational words every morning, how no matter what anybody had going on, he would make sure he took hours out of his day to be able to be that shoulder, be able to be that voice, that person that just constantly reminded you that you can do anything, just keep you lifted, and just make sure you always had somebody to talk to, no matter what it was about, right? I just want to let people get a sense of who your brother was. If you want to talk about the collage behind you, so that when we talking about your brother was an artist and he was creating, what was he creating for this world? He was creating beautiful, beautiful light and energy. He wasn't just somebody who was selfish. He wasn't just somebody who was out here like a young dude living for himself. He was a young man who, even at a young age, was holding everybody else down, holding them down and pushing them up, right? So I just want the world to be able to see what we lost, not just what y'all lost, what we lost. Because people like your brother are rare. And I mean, you see it even through you guys. Like, it shows who y'all are as a family. A lot of people be angry. A lot of people be upset. When we first met, we opened up in prayer. We celebrated.
Absolutely.
Even with y'all going through y'all tragedy, y'all still loving people. Y'all still good people. And y'all just want people to be safer. Y'all just want people to be able to feel the love your family got. And just like yourself, you expressing that through your art. Like your sisters, the little girls who were saying that they want to dance. Like y'all are just finding all these creative ways, like what Reggie said, where y'all can go out here and let other people hear from y'all so they ain't got to go through this. And I can't think of nothing more beautiful than people who are in the middle. This is the 6-month anniversary of your brother's passing. So y'all in the middle of your sadness and your tragedy, and you're still thinking about other people. Like not with spite, not with anger, not with no get back. Just when will it stop? What can we do to make it end right here, right now? Like let him be the last life that got to be lost. And I'm just proud of y'all for that. Really proud of y'all. What can people find your music at? What can people get support y'all at?
I'm not on YouTube as much. So you can really find me on like SoundCloud and Instagram. Most definitely Instagram, because that's where everything goes.
What's your Instagram name?
My Instagram is BlockBoyZ, BLOCKBOYZEE.
Hey, Ashley, can we put that underneath his name so people can see his Instagram handle? Can you say it one more time for us, please?
BLOCKBOYZEE, BlockBoyZ.
All right. And what about you, Michael? What do you have going on right now? Like what Reggie said was very true and very real. You guys have a story inside of y'all. Y'all got a light that shines through y'all, and you bright skinned too, so that light shining bright. I'm just playing with you. But y'all got to take this like that. Even in the middle of that, look at that smile. Look at that energy y'all got. You get what I'm saying? Like y'all still got more joy in y'all than the average person, even with y'all going through this. And y'all got to take that out. And y'all got to let other young people hear that. Y'all got to let people understand when we cannot deal with our anger, when we cannot understand that this moment will pass. But if we pull a trigger, that moment ends right there forever. Y'all got to let people see the pain that pulling one trigger can cause.
And it could prevent someone from pulling another trigger because of how your music or your story or your message has impacted them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point I was trying to make, is that, you know, you guys are in a position right now where you can really carry your message and prevent some other people from making a wrong decision or from pulling another trigger or for, you know, or coping how you guys are coping with it right now. Because trust me, a lot of people, they may be looking for revenge right now, but the way you and your brother are connected right now and the way you guys are overcoming the situation, someone can get motivation from you guys to not go retaliate and, to use their anger and put it in a form of action.
Hey, Reggie, so how about this, right? How about me and you both? We both connected. We both got relationships. Let's set up a panel where we'll go have them talk to some young people, maybe in juvenile court, in some different spaces where maybe some higher risk situations. And Ezekiel, Michael, we'll set it up the way you guys can talk to some youth, let them be able to hear from your story, let them be able to see who your brother was through your eyes, and then let them be able to see what that one act of violence took away from your family. Michael,
that's exactly what I would like to see happen.
How would y'all feel about that?
That would be great. Great. Wonderful.
Okay. So me and Reggie will work on that and we'll give y'all our word. We'll set that up. Because at the end of the day, we got to break this cycle. Like y'all don't deserve to feel what y'all feel. And we're going to make sure that less and less families feel that. We may not be able to change the world. We may not be able to stop everything, but we can change one person's world and we can stop one act. Like Reggie said, instead of looking at complaints, we look at what we can fix, right?
I want to add for Micah, correct?
Yes.
I know you said when you go to work, you get this energy that kind of holds you down and makes you move slow and, makes you feel like you can't function for that day. Mm-hmm. I want to challenge you, brother, to whenever you feel that weight, you do the opposite of that feeling. Mm-hmm. You get hype. The moment that you feel like, you're trying to get sad, you get hype, brother, and you use your energy and you channel that energy into other things, whether that's music, whether that's sports. I don't know what your hobbies are, what your future goals are. I would love to hear more about that. Maybe following this call, I could give you gentlemen my phone number. I would love to talk to you guys and see how we can help connect the dots. But I want you to channel that energy, brother. Don't let your past determine your future. You know, we all have horrible past, but your past does not determine your future. All right. We, you know, as young men, we see what's going on in this country. We see all the challenges and the obstacles we got up against us, but that should not slow us down a bit. That's the point I was trying to make. That should not slow you guys down. Don't let your energy gravitate to the problems and how this dude, you know, it's because he came from this block or this community and he had no opportunities and he saw people selling drugs all day and he became a crackhead or he became a drug dealer. That's not true. You know, your environment does not determine who you become. Although if you engage in that environment, it definitely will.
Yeah, you can trap yourself in.
You could walk past some people every day and go to school and become a Harvard grad and a doctorate, whatever. My point is, your past does not determine your future, gentlemen, and remember that. All right.
So Reggie, we finna close out. We got 3 minutes. Do you want to give a little, tell people where they can find you at? Maybe email, social media. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can reach me. I'll give my actual my office line. I don't always answer the phone. I'm gonna put it out
If you don't
right now.
mind, bro,
Listen,
give him an email or give him something. Like, I just don't want people flooding.
Yo, Keith, I got that. I know this is your show, brother, but let me do my thing. Yo, so you can reach me at 404-612-7386. And like I said, that's my office line, but I return all messages. So leave me a message. You can also email me at reginald.crossley. That's REGINALD .crossley, CROSSLEY at fultoncountyga.gov. Again, fultoncountyga.gov. Also, my first name, last name on IG and all the other platforms. I'm not really too much of a social media person, but you know, you guys can reach me there as well.
All right, Ezekiel and Michael, do y'all want to leave any information, any way that people can reach out to y'all, catch up with you?
My Gmail, walthallmicah17@gmail.com.
Can you spell it out?
Huh? WALTH. And then it's I forgot to spell my own last name. All right, WALTHALL Micah and then 17@gmail.com.
All right. What about you, Ezekiel?
You know, as usual, my Instagram, BlockBoyZ. Again, BLOCKBLYZEE. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, thank y'all guys so much. Thank you too, Reggie, man. I appreciate y'all coming on. And like we said, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we hold y'all down and we open up doors because, you know, we got to find a way for y'all to bring as much positivity out of this situation as possible. And everything Reggie said was true, man. Like, you can't let your past determine your future. You can't let what one person did derail the dreams y'all got. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to take all of this and keep pushing and keep going forward.
Stop getting caught up in the hype with what's going on in the news. Stop getting caught up with all the racism going on right now. It's real. Don't get me wrong. That's stuff we're really going to, but let's spend our energy, our time, you know, our brain power on the solutions, on taking it to the next level, on, you know, getting far away from that negativity. You know, like, it's a reality of what we're going through, but it's not, you know, it's not the direction that we're going in as you know, I see you gentlemen definitely going in a positive direction. I could see it in your eyes. And, you know, I wish you two the best. Zeke, I wish you the best in the music career. Micah, I'm not sure what your passions are, but I wish you the best, brother. And if I can do anything to help you all, I didn't touch on some of the other things I do for young people, but I help them find jobs. I help them get into college. I have a college and career guide that I'm releasing, and an app to go with the college and career guide as well. So we have a lot of resources out there. We can get you a job, get you on the right path, connect you with some colleges and things if, you know, if that's what your heart desires. And let's play ball, gentlemen. Reach out to me. Keith, please give him my cell number. And, you know, I'm all ears, gentlemen. Call me any time of the night. All right?
Thank you.
All right. I think that's the best closeout we can have. So y'all have a blessed week. Thank y'all so much again for coming on, and make sure we connect. I'm gonna send y'all Reggie info, and you know I'm here. Y'all call me whenever, whatever.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, y'all have a good evening.
All right, you too.
All right, Reggie.